welcome to Get Planting, and today we're going to be making a terrarium. So what you need is a nice glass vessel, maybe a jar or vase. This is a lovely one that is pear-shaped and quite unusual, so that's what we're going to use today. I've got some nice drainage gravel, some terrarium potting compost, which is peat-free with lots of perlite through it, so it'll be nice and free draining. I have some charcoal. And then obviously you're going to need some plants that are suitable for a terrarium, so they're going to be able to cope with humidity. So we have a nice fern here, and then Fittonia, which is also known as the nerve plant, and these come in a range of different colours and have an amazing detail on the leaf. Then some decorative stone and gravel to put on the top. So let's get started. So the first thing to do is to fill the bottom layer with the drainage gravel. Now you might want to use some terrarium tools or a spoon, as I'm using. Raid your kitchen. And this will go into the bottom layer of the terrarium. So I'll just fill this up. And you're going to use your utensil to sort of smooth it out. And this just aids drainage by putting this gravel layer on the bottom of the terrarium. So I'll just add this in. And just smooth it out nicely using your tools that you have. So that's the first layer in. And then we're going to add a little bit of charcoal. Now this just keeps your terrarium nice and fresh. And it's not essential, but it's a nice thing to add and stop your terrarium from going stagnant or anything. So I'm just going to sprinkle a couple teaspoons of that onto the surface of that gravel that you've just put in. So we'll pop that to one side. Then we move on to this lovely terrarium potting mix, and I'm going to start spooning that into the space, and you're going to need quite a lot of this, as this will be the growing medium for the plants. Now it does take a bit of time to fill it all up, and just smoothing it out as you go. Now some terrariums can be quite difficult to access and get into, and there's lots of different tools and long tools that you can use to access your terrarium. And it's a great feature to sort of invest in and buy and use. So sometimes you can just shove it all in. Just going to speed up the process. This is slightly quicker. Right, almost getting enough compost in now to start adding some of the plants. So I'm going to put the fern probably in the middle of the display. So we're just going to take it out of the pots now. You might want to break up some of the roots on the bottom. And it's it's got this nice curly foliage to the fern. So we're going to nestle that in, and it can be tricky to get them in to the terrarium. And we'll top up with a bit of compost afterwards as well. Then the lovely Fittonias are going to go in as well, nestled in, one at the front, one maybe at the back. And it's starting to create a really nice display. And these have amazing veining on the leaf. So we'll just pop that one in. And nestle it in there at the back. There, it's starting to look really nice already, and I don't think we need too much more compost in the terrarium, so it's starting to look quite good. So I'll just add a little bit around this one at the front, and then all that we need to add is some decorative grit. Now you can get this in lots of different colours. It is a bit messy, so bear with me as we put this together. I suppose just carefully put that grit in. You can see it's starting to look nice and decorative, but you want it to be right at the back, so just carefully spread it out. It's not easy making terrariums, but they are really beautiful to have in your home. Don't worry too much about the glass getting dirty or in compost, because you can actually use a paintbrush to brush the glass, or a wee bit of water, and that'll just wash away. And you can do the same to the plants as well once they've settled in. So I think one more handful of grit at the back. And that's it. So there's your terrarium all planted up with the 3 plants in there. Lovely different layers. So we added the compost, the charcoal, the drainage gravel, the decorative grit on the top. You might want to add a bit of moss or stones. And then the last thing you need to do is just water it. So terrariums don't need much water at all. They're nice. The glass is keeping a lot of humidity in there. So just a nice gentle mist with a misting bottle every couple of weeks, and it will be happy and look really attractive in your home. Now, if you've enjoyed this content, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.